What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you another deck that I lovingly stole from my boy Orobomb, and that is a deck centered around Tapu Koko and Acerola. And before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton and lets us do more cool stuff for you guys. And as for the question of the day, this was just kind of one that popped into my head and actually made a lot of sense, so I just wanted to go with it. If you could have one supporter card from the entirety of what's available on the Pokemon TCGO client, so any supporter from Legacy, Expanded, Standard, well, not Standard, but if you could have any supporter card from Legacy or Expanded put into the Standard meta, what would that be and why? Had to ask me, I would say that, the easy answer is Professor Oak's new theory, because it's a shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6. That's just a very simple shuffle draw with, that doesn't use anything from your hand, it doesn't make you get rid of resources, just a shuffle draw 6, which is N, but, if you take an early prize, then N's like, yeah, you get a little bit less cards. Professor Oak's new theory, or Pont as it's affectionately known, is just kind of, yeah, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6. So there would be that is the easy answer. Another one would be Colress, just because, I always loved Colressing for like 12, 13 cards when I would play my Mega Rayquaza deck and have Skyfield and play. That was one of my favorite things to have happen. So I love Colress, and I'd like to see what it does in the current meta without Skyfield, because I still think it could be a very strong card in the right deck. And also Hexmaniac. Now, this is a card that just recently went out of the format, but I think that Hexmaniac, if it was in the Standard format, would actually have a pretty solid impact based on how many decks and how many of the top decks rely on abilities. I think that would be a very, very, very strong card that would see quite a bit of use. So yeah, Professor Oak's new theory, Colress, and Hexmaniac. Let me know what supporter from the Legacy and Expanded format you guys would want to see in the Standard format and why, and leave that in the comments section down below. Love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. But anyway, on to the deck. Like I said, this is centered around Tapu Koko and Acerola, and unfortunately, I am a little bit crunched for time, so I'm not going to be able to do as thorough of a deck list as I usually do. But basically, what the idea is, Tapu Koko with Arrow Trail. When you play this from your hand onto your bench, you may move any number of lightning energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon and put this Pokemon as your active. So basically what it is have energy all around the board, play down Tapu Koko becomes active and has all this energy on it, and then 2 attacks, Sky High Claws, 130. Basically you're just going to be 2-hit KOing everything with Sky High Claws, and then Tapu Thunder GX does 50 times the amount of energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. So that's just kind of the one shot that you take when you need it. So really just the whole strategy around this deck is keep recycling Tapu Kokos and keep denying your opponent prizes, keep switching between the Kokos and keeping energy on the board, and then Acerola up the ones that are damaged to reset the damage on all of them. And that's really just the whole goal of this deck, is prize denial and 2-shot everything. Now, as for the rest of the Pokemon, having one Drampa just as kind of a backup attacker. We don't run any DCE, so we don't use Drampa as much, but it's another way of putting energy on the board. Like if we have Max Elixirs, we can throw it onto Drampa, because that's never a bad thing. Marshadow, something I actually have yet to use in this deck, just because I've never been in a situation where Marshadow can help, but not Acerola. Orobomb swears by it, saying, oh, it's actually a really good card. You can get rid of it if you want, but there have been situations that he said where he's had it work, so hey, who am I to judge, or who am I to say that he's not right? One Jolteon, because Free Retreat is amazing, and if you're up against a deck that has nothing but basic Pokemon, well, Jolteon can just kind of get you sort of an auto win. One Raikou as a non-GX EX attacker. 4 Tapu Koko, absolute max number, because that's what the deck is centered around. 1 Giratina, because otherwise Greninja Break just kind of destroys this deck, so Giratina is a way of shutting it down. That's another thing you can get rid of if you decide you want more energy or something like that, but I've run into Greninja Break testing this deck, and I'm glad I have Giratina. And finally, 2 Lele, so that we can grab whatever supporter we want. Now, as for the items, I'm going to run through these really quickly. 2 Field Blower basically turn off Garbotoxin and Choice Bands for Max Elixir to get energy on the board as quickly and efficiently as possible so that we can just continually shuffle them around on our Kokos. One Rescue Stretcher and one Super Rod as our methods of recursion. Rescue Stretcher obviously specifically for Pokemon, be able to get a knocked out Tapu Koko back into our hand, and Super Rod for being able to recur energy for Super Scoop Ups. Kind of act as pseudo Acerolas without having to use our supporter for the turn, but then again it's off a coin flip, so it's less reliable. For Ultra Ball, that's not Ultra Ball. For Ultra Ball to guaranteed get the mon we want when we want it. For Aether Paradise conservation areas to once again deny prizes, make our Tapu Kokos take less damage. Basically the name of the game is don't let your opponent knock anything out. 3 Acerola, very high number because we want to just pick up our Kokos, and that's... yeah, we want to pick up our Kokos when our damage. We want to pick up our Mons that get damaged. Just the whole prize denial game. 4-4-3 of Sycamore N and Guzma. I mean, pretty standard at this point, and I end up really, really liking it. Guzma, the downside is not bad at all, like the having to switch, because, I mean, 1, you have Jolteon through retreat. 2, you can always just play down another Koko and get the energy on it and send that active. 1 Choice Band and 3 Fighting Fury Belt. You can change this line if you want. I just like the Fighting Fury Belts because, once again, the name of the game is prize denial. So Fighting Fury Belt having that extra damage on it, or having that extra HP, sorry, on Tapu Koko is very nice. And the extra 10 damage is never a bad thing. And finally, 11 Lightning Energy. So that, statistically speaking, we should hit Max Elixir when we play it. So, yeah, ran through that deck really quick. Let's just go ahead and see it in action. Alrighty, we have got one against, well, this could be interesting. Looks, well, I mean, well, it looks like a Garbodor deck, but I mean, if looks can be deceiving, so fingers crossed we do get to go first, which is very nice, especially considering the hand that we draw is, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not amazing per se. I mean, on the bright side, I will be able to go for Max Elixir. I will be able to Lele for an N and just kind of go from there. So I'm kind of hoping that that's how it plays out. And I see Espeon, so I'm... okay, so I'll be shocked if this is not Garbodor Espeon. I mean, this is very obviously Espeon because, I mean, you know, we sort of saw the Espeon right there. But if it's not Garbodor Espeon, I have no idea, honestly. And the fact that we see Rainbow Energy make me think that it's Drampa as well, like Drampa, Espeon, Garbodor, which is cool, but I think, actually, you know what, it might just be like a one of Tech Drampa, so I can see that my opponent does start Eevee, and off my mulligan and my top deck, I get absolutely nothing useful. So, okay, there's 4-4, there's 9 energy in the deck. So, statistically speaking, I should easily be able to hit this. But then again, when have statistics ever actually played out for me the way I want them to? So now, not only do I have a item in the discard pile, I didn't even get anything off of that item. So that's just kind of sad times right there. So I am just going to attach the lightning to the Raikou in order to activate my Shining Body so that I cannot get hit. Well, then I'll only get hit for 10 damage with Psybeam, and it will be an 11 hit or a 12 hit KO as opposed to a 4 hit KO, which, I mean, I'll take the 12 hit KO. That sounds nice to me. And yeah, so my opponent plays the Trubbish down, confirming that this is Garbodor. I mean, I pretty much was able to guess that already, just based on the composition or the look of my opponent's deck, like the fact that it was Espeon. And we do see the Drampa as well, so that explains the Rainbow Energy. So that's kind of cool. I mean, usually you see one or the other, but I mean, a 1 or 2 of Drampa Tech could be very nice. My opponent does attach the Floatstone to Espeon, oddly enough. And then is going to go ahead and Lele for... not sure what, to be honest. I mean, he's already gone for Pokemon Fan Club, so he's already used up his supporter for the turn, so I guess he's just Leleing in order to be able to have a supporter for next turn. And yeah, he is just going to Psybeam. I mean, I pretty much figured that. I get another energy, so why couldn't any of those hit? Like, if I had hit that one with Max Elixir, then I would have been fine. What I think I'm going to do is just attach the Lele and end my turn right there. I know my opponent has an N. He can Psychic if he wants, but that won't be a knockout. And yeah, he does just end. I did not want to waste a bunch of... I didn't want to play a bunch of items just to not really get anything out of it, because, I mean, it'd be iffy that I was able to attack that turn anyway. But, okay, here we go. My opponent is going to go ahead and Psychic, I know it is, and hit my Raikou for some good damage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm finally going to start getting my Tapu Koko into play. Unfortunately, my opponent doesn't have enough energy for me to be able to just one-shot the Espeon. So what I think I'm going to do, let's go ahead and Ultra Ball, get rid of both of those to grab the Tapu Koko, because I have the energy on board. So let's play it onto the Raikou, play the Tapu Koko down. Let's move all 3 energy. You know, hindsight 2020, I really should have gotten rid of the Rescue Stretcher as opposed to the... 1, 2, 3, 4, that'll be 5. Yeah, I really should have gotten rid of the Rescue Stretcher as opposed to the Super Scoop Up, because then I could have potentially gotten the damage off of my Raikou, and I get I just get even more energy. So yeah, that happened. Really would have liked to have had, you know, that energy when I was Max Elixiring earlier. But my opponent will play Po-Town, I'm assuming, to try to get some damage on the Trubbish, so that Drampa can hit a little bit harder. He will go into his Lele this turn, and then go for Professor Queequeg. I'm just saying that to annoy Orobomb, and he'll be able to energy drive me for 150, yeah. So that is huge damage, but because of Acerola, I think I'm going to be just fine. So let's go ahead and get rid of Drampa. Drampa really isn't going to be doing a whole lot. And then let's grab my other Tapu Koko. I have a couple that are prized, obviously. And then let's do what this deck was designed to do, and that is just deny prizes and deny the heck out of them. So let's play down the Koko, move all the energy onto it, and then let's Acerola up my damaged Koko so that I have that for next turn. Play the regular energy onto the Lele just so I have that on board for later if a Tapu Koko happens to get knocked out. And then, you know what, I'm just going to knock out this Lele with Tapu Thunder GX. Sorry, I was like completely blanking on the attack that I just clicked, because Espeon's in range of a Sky High Claws. Garbodor will be in range of Sky High Claws. Drampa would be the only other one, and it's not too big of a threat yet. Like Lele with a Choice Band and a DCE was getting a little bit annoying, so it had to be dealt with. And yeah, we're in a good position right now. Even when my opponent Psychics me with Espeon, I will just be able to throw another energy on board, play another Tapu Koko down, and just recycle, just rinse and repeat at that point while knocking out this Espeon. So I think, yeah, I mean, at this point, I've said like 30 times, but at this point, we're just going to deny prizes as much as we can. My discard pile is starting to get pretty full of items, so I'm going to have to be careful with that. But otherwise, I think we're okay. I really do think we're fine. Psychic's going to do 150 to me. He would have needed a Choice Band with his Espeon in order to be able to take an Oko on me with Psychic. And then once I get another energy on board, if I can just keep this energy on board for the time being, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so not quite yet can Garbodor knock me out. I think I'm okay. I actually think I'm okay. Because as long as I just get one more turn... Yeah, as long as I just get one more turn, then I'll have enough... on board. Yeah, I'll have enough energy on board to be able to have another Sky High Claws even if I... do have one of my Tapu Koko get knocked out, which is kind of an inevitability at this point. So right here I'm going to Ultra Ball, but what do I want to get rid of? I want to get a Lele to get a Guzma to knock out that Espeon. because if I can't get a bunch of damaged Kokos off the board, then, you know, I'm going to get rid of this. This is going to be risky. I'm going to get rid of my Sycamore and my Field Blower to try to pull this play off. Sycamore because, I mean, obviously draw support. Field Blower because if my opponent's able to get a Garbotoxin Garbodor set up, then my Arrow Trail is completely shut down, and that destroys a lot of what this deck is trying to do. So let's go ahead and bring up the Espeon. I think at this point I just have to try to outspeed it. Play down the other Koko, move 3 energy onto it. And I wanted to save the Fighting Fury Belt because I think that will actually, well, I mean, the Fighting Fury Belt will obviously give me more longevity and allow me to survive. Yeah, at this point it will allow me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I needed the Fighting Fury Belt because with that Ultra Ball being played and discarding what it did, I would need the Fighting Fury Belt to live a Trash Lance from Garbodor. So, I mean, this could come back to bite me, the fact that I Lele'd for a non-draw supporter. Crap. Okay, so my opponent is just going to Sycamore. That is fine. If he gets it... Okay, so he can't get a Garbodor on a Choice Band. I mean, he's going to get the Garbodor. We know that. That was just kind of a foregone conclusion. And there's the Choice Band. This is where it gets bad. Because now he's going to be able to knock out... Yeah, now he's going to be able to knock out my Fighting Fury Belted Tapu Koko, which kind of puts everything all in on this one. And as long as this one doesn't die, I should be okay. So I can... So let's go ahead and Super Rod, I think, some energy and Koko's back into the deck. You know what? No. Let's just go ahead and do energy. That way, when I inevitably need Max Elixirs, I can go for that. I can't do that. What I was wanting to do was Acerola up my Tapu Lele. That way I could just play it back down and get a supporter for next turn, but it's only damaged, so I have to just rely on the prize denial. And glad I put back 3 lightning instead of that Koko, because I get my last Koko off the prizes, so now I have 3 to work with. My opponent is going to be able to hit me with Berserk as long as he doesn't... If he gets a Choice Band and a Choice Band, Potown, and an Evolution, would cause me to lose my Tapu Koko. So I just kind of had to hope that he doesn't have that at this point. He is going to Skyla, so maybe that's his only means of support this turn. That's his only... Like, that's the only way... That's the only supporter he had. So maybe I'll be okay, unless he's searching for, like, that one puzzle piece. Because, I mean, if that's what he's searching for, then I'm just kind of screwed. But he grabs the Fighting Fury Belt, so he cannot get a knockout on me this turn. Even with the Fighting Fury Belt. Like, that doesn't change that Sky High Claws would still be a 2-hit knockout. But, okay, what I can do here is just play a Tapu Koko down, move energy onto it, and go from there. Just kind of leave that last spot open on the bench for... Well, let's just Acerola up this guy so my opponent doesn't get another... So my opponent can't draw into a... what am I trying to say? So my opponent can't get a cheeky Guzma knockout on it for 2 prizes. And now I'm just going to be recycling Kokos. Like, even if I don't have Acerola, I have enough bench spaces for both Kokos, meaning I can get 2 more Sky High Clauses off. And if my opponent has a Garbodor, I'm in a very, very, very awful spot. Really. I'm okay with this because all I have to do is just go Raikou, let him knock it out. And then I will just knock out whatever my opponent brings up. So he does bring up Trubbish. What does he have? Because if he has Garbodor, then he should have... So he goes back into Lele, which is okay. I mean, it's not quite a one-hit knockout. And he knows I have the Koko in my hand, so I think, yeah, I just win right here. Because all I have to do, I mean, I finally get that Aether Paradise Conservation Area down. Man, that took a while to show up. That would have been nicer a little bit earlier. But you know what? Better late than never, even though it really didn't do anything, because I am able to Arrow Trail in and knock out my opponent's Drampa. So we were able to incredibly convincingly beat a, well, I guess it's not necessarily Drampa Garbodor, it's Espeon Drampa Garbodor, which, hey, we still beat Garbodor, and anytime you can do that, I consider that a win. So that was a very, very, very solid first match. Not sure how we're going to top it, but we sure will try, and let's go ahead and try to find another one with this deck. Alrighty, we have got another one against I don't even know. Let's see if it comes up. McCanned SLZ. McCandy? I honestly have no idea how they say that. I mean, it could just be McCanned SLZ, and that would make sense and be the simplest version. I mean, hey, Occam's razor, right? But we do start off with nothing. Alrighty. Well, I mean, I always said I do enjoy Pokemon tools, but I don't enjoy having them all in my opening hand, because there's that, and my opponent starts the Solrock, so I'm really hoping that's not indicative of what type of match this is going to be. Because, I mean, after that Garbodor Drampa matchup, what does it even do? Double draw and then Brooklet Hill into Rockruff. So, I mean, it's not... You know what? I mean, it could just be that Solrock is a good lead for my opponent, and that's kind of what he's going for. Okay, please end, please end, please end, please end, please end, please end, please end. Yes! Okay, we're good. We're good. Alright, so my opponent is... Okay, so the fact that I saw Solrock threw me off because I had no idea what it did, but it looks to be... This looks to be a fighting deck that my opponent just plays Solrock in as a good lead just to draw some cards early on, get things set up, and, well, there's that. So what I think I'm going to do, play that there. Let's look through my deck. I could grab Marshadow. Do I want to? It's not going to do much, but it will get it out of my deck. Nah. Oh, wait, crap. I was wanting to look through my deck, but the fact that I could have grabbed Marshadow threw me off. And let's just... Yeah, you know what? Let's play it down. And I think just Sycamore. This way I have a target for Max Elixir, which I do have. Please, can I hit this? Because if I do, I'll be able to. Of course not. Why would I ever hit Max Elixir? I definitely don't run them in the deck at all, and I definitely don't tailor my energy to hit Max Elixir, so I mean, of course I wouldn't hit them. Why would I? It's like I run like 5 energy in the deck. It's fine. Everything's fine. I don't hate this game at all. But my opponent is going to Guzma me in, and then I guess just try to start hitting me. I mean, it's going to do like 30 damage at this point. 40, sorry, I was overestimating energy conservation. And what I can do is just go ahead and buy myself a little bit more time. Let's bring up the... Yeah, I think let's just go ahead and bring up the Zygarde, put my Giratina back up there, and just end the turn right there. I'm just kind of biding my time until I'm able to get a Sky High Claws up and going, which I will next turn, thanks to 3 consecutive manual attachments, and no thanks to Max Elixir. But my opponent is going to Lele for what? Another N. I am honestly completely okay with this. I would have had to have discarded some pretty solid resources. And also it gets me an extra card, so that's always nice. Hopefully I can get an energy and a Koko, or some way of getting a Koko. And I just draw right into it, so you know what? We definitely take those. My opponent will just... Bloodthirsty Eyes out this Tapu Koko, and he can't quite knock me out yet because there's a strong energy in the Float Stone, because I have 130 weight. Of course. So of course he gets end into the perfect hand of a strong energy and a Float Stone. That's annoying. So now I'm set back even further. Let's play this energy onto Giratina, and then just end and hope that my opponent doesn't draw much. Or if I draw into something and a Max Elixir, but again, no Max Elixir, so there's that. At this point, yeah, no, I don't want to play that. I might just lose. Let's go ahead and get rid of those choice bands, because those are the things that are actually really annoying. And I'm just going to put my Tapu Koko up at this point, because I know it can take a hit. And yeah, just leave it there. So this is starting off horribly. Man, that's annoying. That's really annoying. But regardless, we're still going to keep trekking on. I do have 2 energy on board. Unless my opponent gets some sort of insane turn where he's able to knock out my Tapu Koko, I think I'll be okay, because all I really have to do is just play down an energy, play down my other Koko, and I will be able to take... Yeah, so I will be able to take an Oko on my opponent's Lycanroc this turn. So let's just play the energy just cuz, play down my Koko, put all of this energy on there, and can I hit this Super Scoop Up? Yes, I do. That is phenomenal. So essentially a whole turn of my opponent's was just nullified. I'm going to end once again. See what I can get. No, alright guys. Alright guys, Max Elixir is coming back. Well, actually, let's go ahead and play the Raikou, because Drampa is just a liability, and I miss another Max Elixir. Of course I do. But we'll just play Marshadow right there, and you know what? At this point, I need prizes. I need cards to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and Tapu Thunder, knock out that Lycanroc, get that threat off the board, and there's all my energy. Oh, why couldn't you have been in the deck for Max Elixir? Lesai. My opponent is just going to promote Zygarde. Well, I mean, that's the smart play, because Zygarde has the Floatstone on it. And then he's going to Bloodthirsty Eyes. I wonder what he's going to bring up. Bring up the Marshadow. That's honestly okay with me, because Marshadow isn't hit by weakness, and then he delinquents. That's really doesn't matter all that much. Let's get rid of Drampa and 2 energy. I can always just... I mean, I'm not going to hit Max Elixirs anyway, so I might as well put those in the discard pile for Super Rod later and just kind of cross my fingers. So yeah, he will Energy Drive for a whopping 40 damage. I do have a Guzma that I can work with, or an N. At this point, I think I'm just going to go ahead and Guzma in that Lycanroc, because I'm not going to try to take single prizes. I think my entire game plan should be get multiple prizes on stuff. So let's do this. Play the Choice Band onto Tapu Koko. It doesn't make a lick of difference, because it's still going to be a 2-hit KO anyway, but this way with Acerola or Super Scoop Up, I just have it on board. And, ooh, here we go. So at this point, don't want to end when my opponent has nothing. I think I do, just because N will be dead to me later. And, ooh. Well, can we hit this? Oh, guys, we finally hit a Max Elixir. That's gorgeous. Let's put that on the Raikou, power this up completely, and then with my Super Scoop Up, and the 3 energy on board, I can actually just Super Scoop Up my Tapu Koko, play down, put the Raikou active, play down the Tapu Koko again, move all the energy from Raikou back onto Koko, and be able to attack. Sorry if I'm yawning, I am incredibly tired right now. Just studying is absolutely draining. My opponent plays down Carbink. It's not a big deal at all. Carbink is essentially a non-threat. What my opponent is going to do right here is grab his Bloodthirsty Eyes Lycanroc and play that down. I don't know why. I don't know why my opponent isn't going to attack the Koko in front of him. I mean, he has Energy Drives, hits the Marshadow. That's honestly okay. I have an N that I can play later if I want to. Let's go ahead and Super Rod first. Put the Koko and 2 energy back into the deck, because I feel like my opponent's going to be trying to play that, trying to play the stall route with Bloodthirsty Eyes and Guzma later in the game. So having Koko being able to just come on in is very valuable. So what I'm going to do here, the fact that I have 4 Ultra Balls still in my deck makes me think that I should have an out to a Koko in one way or another, which I do. So let's play my 7th energy on the board. Man, I'm gonna be loaded when I need to go up. So let's go ahead and move some energy and... Oh wait, whoops, I didn't mean to... Ah, crap. I meant to keep the other Koko with full energy on it, but you know what? It's not the end of the world, so I meant to take it off the Raikou, or the Raikou, and then leave the other Koko completely clean, but I might as well leave one attacker completely ready to attack, so I'll just leave the Raikou up, go ahead and go into this Koko, and my opponent can try to stall, but if he tries to stall and at the same time, why is he grabbing the Lycanroc? There's not a Rockruff to evolve, but if he tries to stall and at the same time attack me, I have Acerola to just pick it up and bring in Koko again, and my opponent does see the writing on the wall that I would be able to have won the game at that point and decides to concede. So you know what? I was skeptical of that game at first because of Solrock, but it turned out that this was actually a pretty solid match overall. Very glad that Tapu Koko does not have that weakness to fighting, otherwise we would have been in a very bad spot that would have just been incredibly difficult to overcome. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.